Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Feeding a Curious Mind. My name's John Pullen and I'm an author of fiction and non-fiction. These days we're used to seeing disabled athletes compete at the highest level, for example in the Paralympics. Now they're able to do this because more and more equipment is becoming very sophisticated. Wheelchairs and prosthetic limbs are two examples. But really we would prefer to regrow the limbs. Now, is this science fiction? At the moment it is, but the good news is that research is underway looking exactly at this problem and how to solve it. Now, although humans can't grow amputated limbs back, there are other creatures that can, for example the salamander or flatworms amongst others. So, some scientists are investigating how they do this in the hope that perhaps some of the lessons learned might be applied to humans. That's research is ongoing. Now, humans do have the ability to regrow or to grow limbs, simply because a fetus in the womb is able to grow 2 arms, 2 legs. So there are processes which mean that we can do this. So another group of scientists are now looking at seeing exactly how this works and seeing whether or not it can be applied to human beings after birth. Now, where have they got to with all of this? Well, some of the proteins which we believe are responsible for growing these limbs within the womb have been identified. And the genes which can turn on and then turn off these processes have also been identified. So it's 2 good steps. But how do you apply this in the next stage of research? Scientists believe that it has a lot to do with the amniotic fluid, which is in the womb when an embryo is developing. And if they can recreate the same ingredients, perhaps they can switch on those processes which grow the limbs. Research has reached the point where mice have been used in experiments where a amputated limb of a mouse has been covered in a sleeve filled with amniotic fluid, and in a number of cases the limb has partially regrown. So there would seem to be some chance there that we may be able to develop a way to regrow limbs. There is another area of research which personally I think is a little bit perhaps far-fetched at the present time, and that is that there are certain scientists who believe that humans once were able to regrow their limbs in a distant past, but as our immune systems evolved, it's believed that we lost that ability. So they're researching into ways that might be able to restart those processes. I don't have any information as regards how that's progressing, but I believe it's not progressing very quickly. But as I said before, there are other areas which we're looking at which are beginning to show early results in a positive way. So we can but wait.